Hello and welcome to Leighton Vans Australia. So this is well and truly overdue, and you know what's here? The new Ford Transits, and there is a lot of news to unpack. So we're going to dive into what's new, what's coming, what we have, and everything in between, and all the way from springs, wheels, and all those other upgrades that you might be interested in. So make sure you stick around. All right guys, so first things first. What do people do when they buy a new vehicle and they want to trick it out? Wheels, tires, and lowering springs. Everything that we got in stock, and this is just a couple of things. So, what is going on with the Ford Transits? Also the T7s. So, they have moved over to a completely different platforms, and they used to be leaf spring in the rear end. So now they're a bit more of an IRS setup. So we have the progressive springs, wheels and tires, and they used to be 5 stud and gone to 6, and they've made it even more difficult by a weird offset and a ridiculously high load rating. But we have ticked the boxes, done all the testing, done all the engineering, and we have a product here for you today to pick up, drive away, and make sure you feel like $1 million. People might ask me, what wheels do I go? So we actually have 3 options in multiple colors. Now it's totally up to you. These wheels look great no matter what. It all comes down to personal preference. But there is a couple little things for them also. They are a 8.5 inch wide rim and 9 on the rear. So they are a staggered fit. Now they do look absolutely fantastic, great fitment, and they have been made and designed just for the Transits and the T7s. Now each wheel has a load rating of 1030 kilograms per corner, and we have matched these up with some tires too with a 109 load rating, and we went through some hurdles just to get them into Australia. So it literally took months and months and calls to get these products so we can get you what you want. So this is our LVT2 in champagne gold. So this is a 20 inch by 8.5 ET47 and a PCD of 120. A lot of these wheels come in champagne gold, gloss black, and matte black, and some even come in silver also. And let's talk about the tires right now. There you go. And what is so special about these tires? These are a Nankang CW30 light truck and a van tire. These are a great all-round tire for everything that we do here. So these are a 245 40 20 inch with a 109 load rating. We found out they get up to about 70,000 kilometers, but it also comes down about how heavy your foot is. Now I know my tires don't last that long because, well, I like to have fun. Anyway, so what about Nankang? So Nankang themselves have been around since the 1940s, and they know a thing or two about tires. Nankang are fantastic for advanced design and technology. Optimized tread compound, silica-rich blends enhance both wet and dry grip, while noise reduction grooves improve ride comfort. So it's pretty hard to find a tire that A, has this high enough load rating, 2, it's comfortable and low noise, 3, great wearing, 4, they're a pretty good tire. Well, honestly, we've been testing it on our van and it's been great. But another reason why they're so special is, in Australia, as you would know, and as I would know, transforming transporters and transit customs and all that stuff hasn't really been a thing. It's always been more, it's just a work van, it's your sparky van, it's your plumbing van. So none of these have really been lowered in kits, and so wheels and tires like this haven't been available in Australia until we came around. And that is for sure. Now we've talked about wheels, tires, let's talk about springs. All right, let's talk about lowering springs, one of my favorite subjects. So pretty much every single Aussie ever, when they get a sick new ride, what do? Wheels, tires, and springs. But spring technology has changed a little bit, especially in vans. Like I previously said, the Ford Transits used to have a leaf spring in the rear, and that's not really, it's great for the things they do, carry things. Yep, that's about it. Anyway, so these are the mix of both worlds. So these are a progressive spring from Cobra themselves. So we've been importing them, we've been using them over in the UK on a lot more vans than we have, and we've seen fantastic results. We've been testing them out on the Australian roads, so we know what they're like too. So why a progressive spring from Cobra? So the top part here you can see is basically the softer part of the spring. So when you're going over bumps and ride comfort, the old technology springs used to be stiff the entire way through. So every single bump and nook and cranny you felt. This has changed. As you can see on the rear set over here, it's a lot softer up here and then it gets thicker there. So because these are also still working class vans that people want to handle and be comfortable. So Ford have done a fantastic job with Volkswagen to develop this new suspension, and Cobra have just made it even better. There are two options that we have for the lowering of these Ford Transits and T7s. So let's get into a little bit more depth of the options that we have with these Cobra springs. So these are such a new vehicle here in Oz, but thankfully, because we are Leighton Vans, we've got a big branch over in the UK, and they do all the hard work for us. We just cross the T's and dot the I's, but that's pretty fun, you could say. Two options. We have the 25 on the front, 50s in the back, or the 40 in the front and 65 in the back. Now, which one is better for who? Now, I personally would go the 25 50s because you have the style, looks, but you still have the capability of going everywhere that you wanted. And some people want to go even further and go with the 40 and 65. So this does look fantastic too. Here's a couple of photos and videos of what we've done in Australia. And this is on a long wheelbase trans that we've put our LVRF kit on with 40-65 springs with the Nankang tires that we've been talking about. Looks absolutely fantastic. It does look great and you get compliments everywhere you go, but it is absolutely personal preference at the end of the day. For some reason, Ford have put splines on a couple of bolts. What's that about? So when you're taking out your strut out of your front knuckle, you can't actually twist the bolts out. You take the nut off and you have to tap them out, and that's splined. But in the rear, for some reason, this isn't happening over in the UK, but only in Australia. The rear bump stops. They come with ginormous spacers. So what we do is we take the spacers out, we replace it with a shorter bolt, zip it back in, and that gives us a lot more room. So you still have your factory bump stops in there, just with a little bit more height. That's what we recommend, and that's what we do every time. At the end of the day, these vans aren't race vehicles. So the front ends and the rear ends aren't that difficult to do yourself. But there are a few options for you. You can buy it online, give us a call what would suit you the best. We can ship these out the next day. You can get your local mechanic or do it yourself. Or you can come into our workshop in Burleigh Heads in Queensland, and we can do it for you also. So all the prices for all of this and all the specs are online at leightonvans.com.au, and if you do have any questions, give us a call, give us a DM, we'll make sure we get back to you ASAP. Now, if you do like this sort of stuff, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you want to keep up to date, go check out our socials, our Facebook, our Instagram, and we even have different forums on Facebook for different vehicles.